What does it mean to have psychic ability? Can you read people's minds? Are you going to throw someone across the room? No. You can come close to reading a person's mind if you combine a sense of empathy with a little knowledge about the person. You'd be surprised what you can do, how close you can get to what they're actually thinking. Some people spew their thoughts like word vomit onto every social media website they come across. Some going so far as posting endless pictures of themselves to which anyone can reference. Makes it incredibly easy to find someone, locate them, pin them down, figure out what they're thinking, which is not something that's easy to do when you're not posting every thought you have on social media. You get caught in a trap and encirculated in the bubbles they want you to stay in, where they want you to be, how they want you to see the world, and they'll only give you what they know you agree with. You have to look to find things that go against your normal ideology. If you want to learn something new, you have to intentionally seek it out. And in this age of information, there's no excuse for you not to do so. We're living in a world where everything that exists is at your fingertips. Where if you want to learn about subatomic physics, it's there. You can find it, you can research it, become an expert. Learn to understand the theories and so on. Put the information together and learn about it. You want to get into some interesting things. You want to find out about the Black Book projects dealing with the mind control. Why do you think they call television programming? I'm not the first person to say that, by any means. And it seems to be becoming more and more apparent to more and more people, which is also exactly the intention. For us, not the establishment rulers. People do tricks online where they read your mind. It's cute, isn't it? Cute as hell. The way you read a person's mind is you become aware of the person. You analyze the way they talk, the way they move, down to the way they express themselves in any given situation. The more you know about somebody, the easier it is to read them. That's not to say that telepathy isn't a thing that can occur. Two people thinking similar thoughts simultaneously is a form of telepathy. They're tuned to the same frequency. But psychic, as a term, I think is a misnomer. Telepathy is too. Because what's happening is your brain doing its natural function. When it comes to moving objects around, it's your bioelectricity. There's a thing called a psi wheel. Look it up. Make one. Play with it a little bit. They're fun as hell. Get it to turn one way. Get it to turn the other way. It's a children's toy. It lets you know that you can do things that you otherwise wouldn't think you could. You want to know about a psi wheel yourself? Get one, practice with it. Psychic ability is something that'll give us insight. Call it intuition. That we might know more about the world than our five senses allow us. That we may know more about others than what they tell us. Everybody has this psychic ability, whether they realize it or not. Call it a gut instinct. So you just know people, you know? Those kind of things are exactly what those involved in the craft are talking about. Every day that you pray to your God, you are channeling the electromagnetic field of your body to a target, a source, that acts like a mirror to give you the end result you're looking for. This is no different than any other spiritual practitioner on the entire fucking planet. And we kill each other over how we decide each group should do that. When no two groups of people actually do it the same way anyway. Does it really matter what one person says over another? There's certain tangible, physical, observable realities, and however you choose to act on those realities is up to you. I suppose the question is do you have a moral setup that works for you that harms no one else? Do you have a moral compass by which you live your life that does not directly harm the lives of others? I think that's really it, isn't it? How we choose to perceive things is going to be unique to each individual. What works for one person might not work for the other because we're all programmed differently. These computers of ours, these transmitter-receiver biocomputers, this antenna we call a nervous system, this machine we call our body, carbon and oxygen, it's a carbon-oxygen machine. We are the sentient life forms controlling these bioforms. Emotions come from these things. They produce the emotion. You think about the day that this body dies, knowing you will not, and there's still fear. Why? It's a biological reaction. The biological does not want to die. It doesn't. Why would it want to? The end of its existence is something that will cause a chemical reaction. But as an electromagnetic waveform, you are not the body. When it dies, you don't. That doesn't necessarily mean that unless you are aware of your existence outside of the body, that you will continue. That's not necessarily true or false. And the reverse may also be the case. If you know you exist outside the body, and yet you still do things that would weaken your field, then you may cease just like anybody else would, who is unaware of their existence beyond the body. Just theory, conjecture, not necessarily true or false. Taking a trail of logic to a potential destination. You can do this with anything. Conspiracy theories are awesome because of that. You don't have to believe the thing you're arguing may be true. Even if your logic is succinct, sound, and you make your point directly, it doesn't necessarily mean that your words are factual. You could be entertaining an idea. There's a lot of different things you could do that with, depending on your position, what you believe. I prefer not to take up certain positions that I consider radical. Why should Islam rule the world? Because they'll populate faster than any other race is currently. Multiple wives. Maybe they are the stronger culture. What if that's the case? Yeah. It's gross. In my opinion, that's gross from my side. I'm looking at my people, I'm going, wow, we're getting our asses kicked globally. And it's not right for them to be doing it. No more than it's right for us to be allowing ourselves to be taken advantage of in the way we are. Look at the migrant crisis over in Europe. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. It doesn't make any sense that the people of those countries would be allowing it in the first place. They should have said, no, stop. And that's really how easy it would be. If the people of the world collectively stood together, there isn't a thing any government could do to stop us. We just say, stop. We're done. We're not going to take it anymore. Stop. Sit the fuck down. Shove your bullshit up your ass. And let us be the masters of our own destiny. Because I don't think it's up to any person or organization to micromanage the individual lives of every other person on the planet. And if you think it is the responsibility of very few people to run the lives of the rest of the people on the planet, you're not making any sense. That's not how it was designed. Those who call themselves illuminated. Ooh. The Illuminati. Yeah. Illuminati my fucking dick. You're one of the darkest organizations on the planet. You took what was meant to illuminate the masses and get us off this rock and turned it into something that is being used to focus the masses into your desired output, your own greed, your own personal ambitions, taking heed before the needs of the people you deem are subservient to you, not who have deemed themselves as such. You have people in high places who are taking advantage of the rest of us, and it's not necessarily the way you might think it is. Dead air. These groups not only are run by the same people, but there are so many degrees of separation between these people that the public consciousness is unable to connect them. Despite us knowing who they all are. The answers to the questions of life, civilization, and humanity lie within the very fabric of what it means to be human. What are we? Where are we going? We're stardust, man. We're stardust. So are we going to be children of the stars? Or are we going to die on this little pebble?